What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Mike here, Super Value Ammunition. Hey, I wanted to hop on here real quick and talk to you guys about some of the stuff that's been going on in the marketplace. We've been getting a lot of questions. This past weekend we did an event up in St. George, and I had quite a few competitors coming up asking about the tariffs. So I figured I'd take a minute, talk to you guys about the tariffs, what that's going to do, if it's going to affect SuperVal, and kind of a little bit of behind the scene of what's been going on in the ammunition market in relation to tariffs. And stay tuned for the rest of the video, because at the end I have some exciting news on future plans for SuperVal that are going to be happening. So let's just get in right away to tariffs. So with the tariffs announcement, just to give you guys a little bit of backstory, I want to go back a few months, or 6 months, 8 months. So leading into the election, when Trump started talking about tariffs, what we saw in the marketplace was a lot of the foreign companies or U.S. companies that import foreign brands and bring them into the United States. There was a big preparation for two reasons of heavy buying. One was any election cycle, there's always a spike in ammunition sales. So typically July, August, September, leading up to the election, retailers, distributors, they start stocking heavy in the event of an election, because all prior elections, ammunition sales, gun sales start to spike and go up. So there was already that purchasing. And then once Trump started talking about tariffs, there was a massive flood of foreign brands. You got PMC, you saw a lot of the MagTech, a lot of mainly 9mm and like 5.56 from foreign brands out of South Korea, South America, wherever it may be, started pumping ammunition over here into the United States for preparation of potential tariffs coming down. Then what happened is there was no election spike, so a lot of retailers were stuck with heavy amounts of inventory, and so then you started seeing ammunition prices just dropping out the bottom, which has been the last 3 or 4 months, because retailers and shops and all the way up to the distributors and wholesalers bought in large volumes, thinking they were going to need to sell a lot for the election. After COVID, a lot of companies missed out on a lot of money, so now it's like, hey, let's buy just in case to be prepared. But what's happened as a result of that is you'll see a lot of ammo prices just dropped out. A lot of companies on the manufacturing side, like us who manufacture ammunition, have been going out of business. We've been looking at buying up companies, buying up equipment, buying up components as companies are struggling or failing because of this. And a lot of the foreign stuff has flooded the market, and you can really see it everywhere. And they flooded the market purely because of election and then the tariffs. Well, now that the tariffs have gone into effect, it's kind of reversing a lot of that. And really what spiked this was other ammunition brands fear-mongering their customer base, which pisses me off, on, hey, you better buy ammo because the ammo prices are about to go up, and the tariffs are going to create anywhere from 10% to 40% price increases. And I will tell you, they are not wrong. For their brands, they are not wrong, because those, if they're an OEM manufacturer, and I'm not going to name names, but if they are an OEM, if they're an ammunition manufacturer, and if they were buying their components from South America, from, name it, anywhere but America, yeah, these tariffs are probably going to affect their raw materials and components, so yes, they are going to have to raise their price. That's why those brands are frantically raising their prices. Manufacturers of raw components, brass primer, stuff like that, if they're saying, hey, prices are going to go up, that's because they're buying their raw materials and metals from foreign countries, so yes, their price is going to have to go up. A lot of these big online, and this is where I saw it the most, companies that sell a bunch of brands, they're like a big wholesaler, online ammo distributors and sellers, they've been the ones that have fear-mongered the most. There's one major one this weekend that sent out this big long BS thing, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. It's because they're buying shit foreign products and selling it to American people. Like, that's the reality of it. They also make ammo, but in their production, their primers are foreign, their brass is foreign, their bullets are foreign, their powder's foreign. That's all getting tariffed now, so their pricing has to go up. What I can say is, for the past 2 years, our branding and our initiative and our focus across the board is American made, American quality, by Americans, for Americans, and you guys have probably heard that. Not that I'm Nostradamus, but I said this 2 or 3 years ago, and it started with a lot of the Vista being sold to a foreign company. The largest manufacturer of ammunition in the United States is no longer owned by an American. Is a big national security issue to me, but it's also for you, the citizen, and purchasing. And I started talking about that, if you remember the videos, well over a year ago. Well, it's really coming full circle. Knowing this is going to happen, my goal as the owner of Supervel was to position Supervel for today in the best possible way. And what we did was we pushed aggressively to be American made, and it cost us a lot more. And I will tell you that without you guys and without your support, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And we struggled in those times over the past couple of years when a lot of companies were just getting fat and greedy because they were bringing in foreign components and foreign materials and metals at pennies on the dollar. We were paying a premium price to stay American made. All of our machinery, American made. All of our employees, obviously, American made. All of our components, American made. Areas that we had to shore up, we went as to aggressively. If we didn't manufacture the component, if we didn't make the bullet or we didn't make the brass, we went to the companies that we work with and found out where they're getting their raw materials, like their lead. So our main bullet manufacturer, we work with them because they source their lead 100% in America. So I only partnered with companies that if we use your component, you are 100% American made. So when these tariffs that all of a sudden are happening, we looked at that 2 or 3 years ago and positioned ourselves in that way. So when my bullets come in, not only are the bullets made by an American company, but the lead, the copper, all the materials are sourced in America. The brass, if we contract a company to custom head stamp our brass for us, the zinc, the strip, the copper, the brass, whatever it may be, all the machinery, everything is American made. There's not very many of those. So it's been an expensive struggle over the last 2 years to position ourselves this way. But myself as the owner of Supervel and the mission and our goal, and if you look at our core values, that is our goal. For Americans, by Americans, and we truly believe that, and that's why we're doing that. So Supervel's prices, you will not see them go up. Ignore the bullshit of all these other companies that are fear-mongering, telling you the price is going to go up. Yes, their price has to go up because they're buying their primers from a foreign country, they're buying their brass from a foreign country, and they supported that. We are supporting American manufacturing, and we are building and growing in American manufacturing. We're going to continue to do that. We are now 100% American made from top to bottom. If we don't make the raw component, the company that does is in contract and in agreement that their stuff is raw material from American manufacturing. Now, with pricing, the only way Supervel raises its prices, if you were with us through COVID, you probably heard me say, I don't raise my price unless my cost increased. That has never changed. I know my operational margin. We're not operating on greed. We're operating on growth of the company for Americans by Americans. So if another American manufacturer that I buy a component from has to raise their price to me, I simply pass that along to maintain my operational margin for growth. I keep the money in the company and I scale the company to employ more Americans to grow the business. And that's the model I've done since 2019 when I came into the company. We're going to continue that model. So the only way prices go up for you guys, if the market skyrockets on demand but supply stays the same, I'm not going to price you guys up if my cost doesn't go up. I'm going to pass along the savings to you. I did that through COVID. We will continue to do that. Now, if foreign supply chain, let's just talk about copper. So if foreign copper hits massive tariffs, a lot of it comes out of Canada, whatever's going on with that. And then the companies that were not buying American made, that were buying Canadian, all of a sudden start buying American, and they choke out supply chain here to where then the American manufacturer raises its price. That's when it would pass on to us, and then we would potentially have to raise our price. But what I have done aggressively is I've leveraged our money and our resources on the companies we buy our components from. I'm very, very picky on who we work with, and we buy enough volume with these companies to where we have a lot of buying power. Some of the components we buy, a company of our size typically would make all of that stuff in-house. We're going to talk about that here in a second, why we haven't and why we are going to. But our purchasing power has almost built some of these companies to where they can't afford to cut us off, to where we can control that a little bit better to have a lesser effect, because we buy so much volume, millions and millions and millions of dollars per component every year. And we've built great relationships with these companies, their owners, their families. We're all families, friends, and we have shared common that they're American made, we're American made. So we're going to continue this mission together, and we're going to continue to push out companies that don't want to be American made. I've gotten a lot of flack in the past couple weeks because some economists and people that sit on the internet say, oh, that doesn't work, these tariffs horrible, whatever you think they are. Coming from someone who's built the company and who's built it, maybe I am missing something, but what I can tell you is, my word is, this is the plan, and I'm being transparent with you guys, and I have been through the whole growth of the company over the past 5 years as I've been in it, running it, president and owner. This is my plan, and this is how we're going about it. And if something changes, you know I'll come to you guys and talk to you about it. How the tariffs affect other markets? Yeah, there probably is. They might be bad for other markets, electronics or whatever it may be. But as far as the ammunition market, a truly American manufacturing company did the right thing, not today. They did the right thing 3 years ago to put themselves in the place knowing this was going to happen, and started American manufacturing then, not now. Because if you're starting it now, it's too late. You're behind the 8 ball. Supply chain's going to be limited. Demand's going to go up, and they haven't positioned themselves. Thus, why so many of them are going under, and I'm buying up their equipment. So that's the talk on tariffs and pricing. Stuff's constantly changing, but I've met with our component manufacturers, and we are in a very strong position. Now, where we're going. Part of Supervel's growth and my growth, like as a businessman, business owner, and companies that own, is what I do is when the market trends down, like the Trump slump 2016, is when I get aggressive. We position ourselves in the growth phase to stockpile, and we run lean in the growth phase, not fat, so we can be fat in the slow phase and make up on deals. So I could buy a machine in 2020 and have paid $250,000 for a loader, or I could buy it right now for $100,000. I could buy components through COVID when everything was overpriced, or I could buy just what I needed to operate lean and make my margin, stock my money, and buy heavy now for pennies on the dollar to allow more growth in our company. So most of the other ammunition companies, because I still do consulting for other brands and I look at a lot of the industry, most of them are folding up shop and tucking tail and hiding right now. Supervel, we don't do that. We're pushing heavily and doubling down on our growth on American manufacturing because we started this years ago. We didn't wait till today. So here's another announcement, new facility. So I signed on a facility that's double, almost triple the size of our existing facility. It's being built out right now. The plan is to be finished and moved into that facility in July. If you're a local, Vegas local, it's literally a block or two away. But yeah, we're going into about 26,000 square feet for the next 3 years, and then we're looking at building more buildings and expanding beyond that. When I talked about component manufacturing, why some of the components we don't manufacture in-house is our existing facility does not have the power or the structural strength and stability to manufacture some of those components. Also, I wasn't about to pay the money for the machines during COVID to wait 2 to 3 years for them to deliver, knowing that this was going to happen, the market was going to drop out, and I would be able to buy machines that can deliver right away for less than half the price. So that time has come, and that's what we are doing. So this new facility is going to allow us to hire a lot more people, employ a lot more hardworking Americans. It is going to allow us to manufacture raw material, all the way down to raw material and components in-house in this new facility. More bullet manufacturing, looking at obviously brass manufacturing, along with all the loading and other things we do. I won't leak too much in what we're getting into, but there's a lot of that coming in 2025 and early 2026. Also a full retail presence. If you're local here, you know that we have a little walk-in shop. You can come in and buy in presence, but the new facility will have a retail store that's about 3,000 square feet. for a local shop, for Vegas locals, Henderson, Boulder City, Mesquite, wherever in this area, where you can actually come to our manufacturing facility and purchase with a better variety than we can currently offer. Yeah, so Super Value Ammunition is growing. I've been getting all these messages, so I figured I would do a YouTube video today for today's email, because we're getting calls about the tariffs. We're getting walk-ins asking about the tariffs. We're seeing people panic and buy, thinking pricing's going to go through the roof, and I'm here to tell you it's not. If it does, you will know far in advance. We purchase supply far in advance. We have stock of supply. We are keeping American made. We are buying American made. And yeah, this entire thing's a bit bittersweet, because I'm pretty sure I could say I told you so about 2 or 3 years ago when I started doing videos like this. What I will ask of you guys is to continue to support us. This isn't a big call to action, buy now because shit's about to go crazy. No, this is purely thank you for your support. It's what's allowing us to buy a bigger facility and to hire more people. It's what's allowing us to live the American dream. It's what's allowing my staff and their families to live the American dream. It's what's allowing me to fulfill my purpose of American workforce, American made, and grow the legacy of Super Value Ammunition, because at the end of the day, that's my goal. Your guys' support and continued support through your orders allows us to rapidly go down that path. The quicker we get there, the more we can produce for you guys, the more you continue to buy, the more we can do, the more calibers we can bring on. Just this month, we have 3 new calibers that are going to drop end of April and early May, so you guys will be seeing some of that stuff coming soon. A little bit more specialty stuff. And then within quarter 2, 3 to 4, we have a bunch more stuff coming online this year. So like I said, when things slow down is when I pick up and we get more aggressive. I don't want to say take advantage of that slow situation, but in business, that's the way we do it. It's the best time, the best deals. We can find way more skilled labor. We can bring more people in. We can offer more Americans the American dream, from literally the raw materials and metals to the finished product. That's how we've been doing it. That's how we're going to continue to do it. So if you're stressing about tariffs, you can stress about it if you're buying from other brands. If you buy from SuperVal, know that you're supporting the continued growth of American manufacturing. And that's at the end of the day, that's our goal in entirety. So I want to talk to you guys for a few minutes. You can drop comments in this video below, and I'll do my best to get in there and answer them. If you're local, you can come in and talk. You can shoot us an email, support@supervalueammunition.com. You can call the shop, but don't feel like you need to panic buy ammunition from us. I'll tell you right now, and that sounds backwards as someone who sells ammunition for a living, don't stress. We got you guys. You'll be taken care of. We'll have availability. And if it comes to that, you will know well far in advance if things are going that way. I've done that in the past where I've sent this email and sent these private videos weeks in advance to encourage you to buy, and then shit went wild. I'm telling you right now, you will know when stuff's going to go wild, and I will communicate to you guys when stuff's going to go wild. Continue to support us. Continue to support our dealers. We've had a lot of growth this year in our dealer program. I think we're onboarding like 20 to 30 new dealers every single month. We're growing across America. We're vetting our dealers. We're working with retail shops and distributors that share the same values, core values as we do as a company. That's what's going to change America. That's what's going to make America great, whatever, is that. Keeping the money in America, keeping the manufacturing in America, keeping the ammunition in America for Americans by Americans. So thank you guys all. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys on the range. We've been doing a lot of competition shooting, and I'm trying to get out there and meet more of you. So if you see me out on the range, come talk to me, say hi. Obviously I love to talk. We're 19 minutes in. But thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. Continue to support us. Know that it's going to a much bigger picture. I hope within the next week or two, the new facility, we're blowing out walls. So we bought 4 facilities, and we're combining into one big one. So we're in the middle of walls getting destroyed and torn down. So when it's safe to go in there, because these are like 30-foot by 150-foot walls that are getting ripped out, I'm going to start bringing you guys some behind the scenes in the coming weeks. If I can sneak in there behind the contractor, put a hard hat on and a safety vest, start getting some video to show you guys the growth of the new facility, the build out of the new facility. Because really it's not just for me, it's for all of you, it's for all my staff and all the families, because without you guys, none of that would be happening. So you guys are a part of that, and we really appreciate it a lot. So, all right, have a great day. We'll see you guys soon.